that we are the American Indians. Copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not.
Rather be alone in my zone writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours, thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realize they all some fucking cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers, and we want it now, never later. No more favors done with all these traitors who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow, so I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road, and I'd rather stay at home. And life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy, do this for my old lady.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
See, ain't shit changed, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no ceilings. Pour me up a cup or two so it can stop the bleeding. Roll me up a split or two, and now I'm hella weeded, cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that nigga undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that drama, mama, I don't get between it. They be trying to turn it on you, damn they really tweaking.
We broke, but we wealthy in ability and hopes fits. Bitch, no, we only need the brokerage. We only overage, overseeing all the dope shit. Killing these cats with they facilities. Flush down the drain, leaning through all 8 lives till that become they centerpiece. Unfold and be a masterpiece at half of all our faculties. We actually dope, we just don't know that half of we.
Just don't know that half of it.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
Hey now. Hey y'all. Hey. What's good, y'all? Big Dog, Chief Elise, RRR, Aaliyah RN. What's good, y'all? Smash that like button, y'all. We about to get right on in to part 2 for real. Part 2 for real. We're going to just get it on started. Hey, Dev, how you doing? Listen, y'all, we're gonna get right on into part two because I want to finish up the reading and get it out the way. Okay, smash that like button, y'all. I'm just going straight to it. Where is it? There we go. Genocide. Let's get back. We stopped right here. Uh, let's see. I just want to make sure I'm in the right area. Yep, right here. US. This is where we ended. Okay. So let's get the share screen going. Smash the like button, y'all. I'm getting right into it. And then when I finish this, I'm going to go over the enslavement of the Indians because that's very important and it says a whole lot. So let's get through this so we can finish it up. And I will open the panel later. Oh, that's not it. There we go. Okay. So, lack of Social Security. According to a report released by the Indian Health Service, life expectancy of American Indians is 5.5 years lower than an average American Indians. And the incidence of diabetes, chronic liver disease, and alcohol addiction are 3 to 2 times, 4 to 6 times, and 6 to 6 times as much as the U.S. average, respectively. Well, you know we have that heavy condition in our hoods. We saw our parents, grandparents go through alcoholism for the most part. Academic studies show that among all ethnic groups in the U.S., Indians have the shortest life expectancy and the highest infant mortality rate. The incidence of drug and alcohol abuse among Indian adolescents is 13.3 times and 1.4 times higher than the national average, and the suicide rate 1.9 times that of the national average. These phenomena are closely related to insufficient government investment of public health resources, underlying health inequities, and the overall underdevelopment of minority communities. The U.S. government provides limited educational and medical assistance to Indians. 99% of such assistance has gone to reservation residents, but 70% of the Indians live in cities. Fire, please. Fire, please. I'm not playing with these damn people. Let me find y'all. I know I better see some fire with your city living asses. Come on, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. 70% of the Indians live in cities and therefore cannot be covered. Well, of course, now we got the little EBT cards, you know. Apart from the Indian Health Service, many Indians have no access to health insurance and are often subject to discrimination and language barriers in non Indian health services and non tribal health facilities. That is a fact. The underprivileged status of Indians in healthcare was further exposed amid the C-19. I'm not going to read that because I don't want no damn strikes. I really don't. I'm jumped down to in terms of education, the conditions of Indian reservations are much poorer than those of white American communities. According to the 2013 2017 statistics of the U.S. Census Bureau, only 14.3% of American Indians held a bachelor's degree or higher, in contrast to 15.2% for Hispanics, 20.6% for African Americans, and 34.5% for white Americans. Many Indian reservations are struggling with dilapidated schools and shattered education systems. The New York Times reported that only 60% of American Indian students in the Wind River Reservation High School finished high school, while 80% of white students in Wyoming graduated from high school. The dropout rate in the reservation is 40%, more than twice of the state average in Wyoming. American Indian teens in the reservation are twice more likely to commit suicide compared with their peers in the country. Poor economic conditions. Many reservations in the barren land of the Midwest have been grappling with economic stagnation and become the poorest areas in the country. The poverty rate of some reservations has even surpassed 85%, according to statistics of the U.S. Census Bureau in 2018. All right, this is just reservation shit for those plain Indians out in that. I don't think that is necessary until we read about who they are and where they came from. So we'll get to that part where they came from. So that's going to be part 3. Understanding them that are out in the plains. So I'm going to disregard that area of this. Okay. So let's move to where it more applies to us rather than on in the plains. Okay. Disadvantaged political status. In mainstream American politics, the Indians and other Native Americans are not choosing to be silent. Rather, they have been silenced by the system and systematically erased. American Indians have a relatively small population and do not have a strong interest in politics. With a lower turnout rate in elections than that of other ethnic groups, their interests and demands are often ignored by politicians. As a result, American Indians have been reduced to second-class citizens in the U.S., and they are often called the invisible minority or the vanishing race in the country. It was not until 1924 that American Indians were conditionally granted U.S. citizenship, and not until 1965 that they were given the right to vote. Hell fucking low. Hello? In June 2020, the American Indian Rights Fund and other institutions conducted a study on the barriers to political participation faced by American Indian voters. With the participation of civil societies, legal experts, and scholars from around the country, the results show that 66% of the 4.7 million eligible American Indian voters were registered, and more than 1.5 million eligible American Indian voters could not meaningfully exercise their right to vote due to political barriers. According to the result, American Indian voters face 11 pervasive obstacles to political participation, including limited hours of government offices, lack of funding for elections, and discrimination. All right. This is about elections. We don't need that. Public health, endangered culture. From the 1870s to the late 1920s, the U.S. government forcibly implemented the system of American Indian boarding schools in American Indian areas to impose English and Christian education on Indian children. Hello. Hello. There were even cases of Indian children being kidnapped and forced to attend schools in many places. The system of American Indian boarding schools imposed on American Indians as part of the history of the U.S. caused irreparable damage, especially to the youths and children. Many American Indians of the younger generation found themselves unable to gain a foothold in mainstream society and felt difficult to preserve and promote their own traditional culture, which leaves them bewildered and anguished about their own culture and identity. In these boarding schools, American Indian children braids, a symbol of courage, were cut off and their traditional clothing burned. They were strictly prohibited from speaking their mother tongue, and violators would be beaten hard In these schools, military-style management was imposed on American Indian children who suffered from not only corporal punishment by mentors, but also sexual abuse. Quite a few American Indian children fell ill and even died due to harsh education methods, forced way of living, homesickness, and malnutrition. The U.S. government had also enacted laws prohibiting American Indians from performing religious rituals, which have been passed down through generations, and those involved in such activities would be arrested and imprisoned. Since the 20th century, the rise of the civil rights movement in the United States, the protection of American Indians' traditional culture and history was improved to some extent. However, due to the serious damage that has already been inflicted, what is left now are mostly cultural relics preserved by later generations using the English language instead. And I don't care about Rebecca Nagel's ass. Ignore genocide. Okay. The domestic criticism long ignored by the U.S. government over genocide of American Indians. First, the academic community has a shared view on this issue. Since the 1970s, American academics have begun to use the term genocide to denounce U.S. policies toward American Indians. All right, that's just a bunch of books to read. I don't care about those. No, those are all books. As the affirmative action became prevalent after World War II, American society began to reflect on the issue of American Indians. The government passed a resolution apologizing to indigenous people. In 2019, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, issued a statement to apologize to the indigenous population in California, admitting that the state's actions against Indian tribes in the mid 19th century were genocides. And that's a fact. So we're talking over there in the West, all right? Not here in the Northeast. However, the reflection of the U.S. government looks more like a political stunt. It has not officially admitted the atrocities against American Indians are acts of genocide. Real changes still seem a long way off. To sum up, successive U.S. administrations have not only wiped out a large number of Indians, but also through systematic policy design and bullying acts of cultural suppression, thrown them into an irreversible, difficult situation. The indigenous culture was fundamentally crushed, and the intergenerational inheritance of indigenous lives and spirits was under severe threats. The slaughter, forced relocation, cultural assimilation, and unjust treatment the United States committed against American Indians have constituted de facto genocides. These acts fully match the definition of genocide in the UN Convention on Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide and have continued for hundreds of years to this day. It is imperative that the U.S. government drop its hypocrisy and double standards on human rights issues and take seriously the severe racial problems and atrocity in its own country. That's the end of that part right there. So I can close that one out because we're going to get into the other one. Hey, y'all. So we're going to keep going, but we're moving into something. That was the end of that. And boy, it wasn't a hiatus. I could take that off. I don't need it on now. We're going to get into the next one. Hey, T. Cortez, Tony Furlow, Bobby Knight. Hey, now, hooroo. Hooroo. You stick your little butt around because I'm going to need you to jump on the panel. Don't even play with me. I know about Friday and you. Hey, y'all, smash the like button. Now we're going to get into the real shit. Now, you know we already talked about Ben Franklin and his observations of mankind, humankind, or whatever over here, right? In 1751, according to him, it was just predominantly darkies over here. Seriously, tawny and dark. Seriously, because it wasn't that many of them at that time. And I really pulled some stuff that I'm just notes that I want to read to you. And I want to get into it right now. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm just going to start reading. And I hear you, hooroo. All right. Let's see. Let's get into it, y'all. I'm just going to start talking about this, y'all. I'm going to read just some bullet points that I took out. Okay. Now, in March 1776, the Continental Army forced 11,000 redcoats / British to evacuate Boston, with George Washington as the commander of the new army. The revolutionaries now fully controlled all 13 colonies and were ready to declare independence. Howe sent troops up Dorchester Heights to dislodge the guns, but a snowstorm prevented the assault. Fearing a brutal bombardment, he decided to leave Boston. On March 17, 1776, known afterward as Evacuation Day. Yep, 11,000 redcoats and hundreds of loyalists left the city by boat. They left the city by boat, y'all. Let's go. When the Treaty of Paris was signed on September 3rd, 1783, England acknowledged the existence of the United States of America and their separation from Britain. Y'all got that? When the Treaty of Paris was signed on 9/3/1783, England acknowledged the existence of the United States of America and their separation from Britain. The colonies were lost. Under separate treaty, England ceded Florida back to Spanish control in exchange for the Bahamian Islands. And then we get into the acquisition of Florida. The Treaty of Adams-Onis in 1819 and Transcontinental Treaty 1821. Florida had become a burden to Spain, which could not afford to send settlers or man garrisons. So Madrid decided to cede the territory to the United States in exchange for settling the boundary dispute along the Sabine River in Spanish Texas. All right, I'm just getting with these notes. Now, the Creek Indians, the Creek people, this is all in the time Franklin was around. The Creek people descend from indigenous tribes who lived in southeastern United States long before European colonization. But eventually, those two histories converged as chattel slavery became a core economic engine in the colonies. All right? Some tribes, including the Creek, also capitalized on slave behavior. Now, when we're reading this, we really need to understand when you're in the 13 colonies and not in the 13 colonies. All right? Southeastern states. Now, y'all keep this in mind. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Maryland, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Kakalaki, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. All right? The Seminole people of Florida. Now, there's a lot. This is the area where I do not agree with Florida guy, whatever his name is, the guy, Florida, Old World Florida, whatever his name is. A lot of shit I don't agree with him on. And when it comes to these Seminoles trying to call them Africans, I'm not going for that shit. Not happening. The Seminole people of Florida formed in the 18th century, which is the 1700s, all right? All the darkies around with Ben Franklin and what is called ethnogenesis from Muskegee, which is Creek, and but Muskegee and Florida tribes. They incorporated, now listen to this shit, y'all. They incorporated some Africans who had escaped from slavery. Bullshit. Other Maroons formed separate communities near the Seminole and were allied with them in military actions. So, dodge the hijack bullshit. For real. Cherokee Indians, black freedmen. Bullshit. Freed from what? Who are descendants from the slaves of Cherokee Indians. Protest their expulsion on September 2nd outside a regional Bureau of Indian Affairs office in Muskegee, Oklahoma. Marilyn Van in pink is the president of the Descendants of Freedmen Association. I only wish she knew to knock that African bullshit off. The Spanish, French, and English all attempted to colonize parts of the Southeast, including Cherokee territory. By early 18th century, the tribe had chosen alliance with the British in both trading and military affairs. So you're learning who our traders were. And these are black Cherokees right here, by the way. Now listen, y'all. North American Europeans. All right, listen. North American Europeans did enslave Indians during wars, especially in New England, the Pequot War, King Philip's War, and the Southeast. All right, North American Europeans. They enslaved Indians. So now you know who was who. The Tuscarora War, the Yamasee War, the Natchez War, just to name a few. But ordinarily, Europeans, especially the English and French, purchased their Indian slaves from Indians. Give me fire. Because we're going to read about them. We're gonna talk about it a little bit, just a little bit. All during this time, all tawny people, Indian captives of the Yamasees were transported to colonial settlements throughout Carolina. Fire, where they were sold to white colonists. So if they were sold to white colonists, what fucking color were they? If they were sold to white colonists, what color were they? The Yamasees. Indian captives of the Yamasees were transported to colonial settlements throughout Carolina, where they were sold to white colonists. Frequently, many of these captives were resold to West Indian slave plantations. Yo. Like I said, you got a West Indian, you damn sure got a North Indian, North American mainland Indian. You better believe it. West Indians. That's what Jamaicans are. Barbados, all of them. They're West Indians. So if they're West Indians and they slaves and they look like my ass, you better believe I'm North American mainland Indian. And so are you. Fire, Indians. After the 18th century wars, of 1711 and 1713, known as the Tuscarora War, against English colonists and their Indian allies. Most of the surviving Tuscarora left North Carolina and migrated north to Pennsylvania and New York over a period of 90 years. After the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, many Tuscarora moved to new lands near Lewiston, New York. That area later became the Tuscarora Reservation. Some Tuscarora moved to lands along the Grand River in what is now Ontario. That area is now the Six Nations Reserve. Fire, y'all. I'm not playing with these people. Because, see, their asses was down in North Carolina and they moved to New York. Yo, I'm not playing with these people. Now, the French, I should have highlighted that, which I'm going to. The French captured part of this group and sold some of the captured Natchez into slavery in the French Caribbean colony of Saint Dominique, now Haiti. Fire, please. Fire. I'm not playing. I am not playing. The French sold the Natchez into slavery in the French Caribbean colony of Saint Dominique, which is now Haiti. Don't play with me. That's why they speak a dialect of French. Forced assimilation. They had to learn French dialect. Don't let me get my French chief, my Haiti chief up in here. The remaining Natchez migrated east to seek safety with pro-British tribes. First the Chickasaws, later the Creeks and Cherokees. Fire! Pro-British tribes. They went and got in there with the Chickasaws, later the Creeks and the Cherokees. Fearing a general Indian uprising, the French responded by systematically attacking the Natchez and destroying their villages. This campaign culminated at the site shown on the map, and I'll show you the map later. Forces under Governor Etienne Pierre blockage the Natchez stronghold on January 20th, 1731, and destroyed it 5 days later. Now, y'all know I already showed y'all the Edisto Indians. They look exactly like us in South Kakalaki. The Edisto moved from the lower Edisto River to Edisto Island. In 1663, they entertained English exploring parties. An English colony was established in the area in 1670. Weakened by disease and attacks from neighboring tribes during 1715, the Edisto gradually disappeared. Yo, don't even play with me. As the Civil War erupted, planters largely abandoned Edisto by November 1861, because that was all around that Reconstruction area. And within a month, many remaining, now see how they fuck up. As the Civil War erupted, planters largely abandoned Edisto by November 1861. And within a month, many remaining blacks managed to escape the few white masters left. Yo, fire. You know, goddamn well, them Edisto Indians was Indians and they was black. These black escapees established refugee camps and took up arms. Yo. They even put up a resistance against a band of Confederate soldiers on a raid Niggas gone wild. They wasn't playing around. The British colonists were supported at various times by the Iroquois, the Catawba, and Cherokee tribes. The Catawba Indians had lived on their ancestral lands along the banks of the Catawba River dating back at least 6,000 years. Before contact with the Europeans, it is believed that the nation inhabited most of the Piedmont area of South Kakalaki, North Carolina, and parts of Virginia. They did. In Aboriginal times, the Catawba were polytheistic, with the emphasis on the maintenance of harmony and balance among the various forces governing the universe. Like they believed in a lot of gods. They was doing our normal way that we did before this Christianity. The Indians, as a rule, rebuffed Christian missionaries until the 19th century, when some of the Catawba became Baptists or Methodists. Don't play with me. Don't even play with me, because you know it. The French colonists were supported. Now, I just show you who the British colonies who were allies for the British colonies, and that was the Iroquois, the Catawba, and the Cherokees. Now, the French colonies were supported by the Wabanaki Confederacy tribe, Abenaki, Micmac, and the Algonquin, Lenape, Ojibwa, Ottawa, Shawnee, and Wyandot, the Huron tribes. That's who helped the British. And I'm going to finish part 3 tomorrow, because that's when we're going to get into the Plains Indians and the Indians that supported Spain, their allies. So I'm going to stop there. I told y'all this wasn't going to be no long segment. But understand this, all during that time was around the time all around that time, Benjamin Franklin was taking these damn notes and getting his shit printed out and keeping up with it. All right. And he was very, very, very clear on who was here. Which brings me to this shit. But let's go into we'll do the Plain Indians tomorrow, because these Indians that are on these reservations, let me show you where you go, that are on these reservations are not the enslavers of our ancestors ever. This is why we need to fix shit, because these Indians were never ever our enslavers. We didn't even go to war with them. Give me a 1 if you understand that. This is a poor reservation. And every time you see Indians, this is who they're talking about. A lot of these Indians came out of South America and they brought them over here to enslave them, to make them do work, cheap labor, like they still do today. Oh, nigga don't want to work? All right, go to Mexico. Give me somebody that work for $8 an hour. Same shit. Nothing's changed. So let me stop that. And let's go into these Virginia Indians is bullshit. Straight up bullshit. Let me go. Shit is funny as hell, man. These people here do not fit the description of Holy Soul Americans that Benjamin Franklin was talking about. Give me a 2 that you know that these people that are Indians in Virginia or anywhere else, they don't fit the goddamn subscription of these people are not wholly so black and tawny here in Virginia. You a damn lie. Give me a 2. Do they look wholly so? Get your ass out of here. See, this is a whole, all these 13 colonies is a whole crime scene. They wasn't even in none of the wars. None. A whole crime scene. I'm going to stop that. I'll take that down. I'm going to take that down. Now, where did it go? Oh no. All right. Let's do this. Hang on, you guys. Got to get it back up the way I had it. All right. I'm going to get it back the way I had it. Come on. Here we go. Got it. All right. Here it is. I'm going to read this. All right. I think I got it now. So we're going to talk a little bit more about getting them British out of here because they was black. Let's go. Evacuating the colonies. This way getting rid of all the mean ass evil black folks. Beginning in 1775, the British military offered freedom to any enslaved person owned by a patriot who ran away and assisted the British war effort. They hoped that robbing the patriots of their enslaved workforce would weaken communities and bring the war to a faster end. Yo. So they was recruiting niggas. Recruiting them goddamn Indians. Negro. The darkest. Historians estimate that around 20,000 enslaved people took the opportunity to self-emancipate between 1775 and 1783. Many were women with children or whole families escaping together. Now, in this time, listen now, we had black governors down in the north. There was no plan for the people who responded to the call. Some men were formed into fighting regiments. Some women were hired as washerwomen and cooks. Many were held as low paid or unpaid servants of army officers and staff. Life was incredibly difficult for those who self-emancipated during the war. Before fighting ended, about 8,000 died of disease or starvation or in battle. The revolutionary leaders demanded that all runaways be returned at the end of the war and included this demand in the Treaty of Paris. But the British honored their promise to the freed people instead. By the time the final British forces left the colonies in November 1783, between 8,000 to 10,000 emancipated black colonials had been evacuated from New York and Charleston on ships heading to Nova Scotia, East Florida, the Caribbean, and other parts of the British Empire. Fire! Emancipated black colonials. Ha! Ah. Life in these new places would prove to be difficult and dangerous, but every black person who made this journey was officially free. The British evacuation of New York City began in August 1783 and ended November 25th. British military officers reviewed the cases of thousands of self-emancipated blacks who wanted to evacuate with the military and made decisions about who could go and who must stay. The recorded information about those approved for the journey in books are collectively known as the Book of Negroes. To make sure the private ships helping with the evacuation did not illegally sell their passengers back into slavery in the Caribbean. The records indicate that 2,744 free black people evacuated with the British Army and Navy. This is the official number of black evacuees from New York, though American slaveholders complained that the number was much higher because the ledgers did not list people who left on private ships. The books include details about what each person looked like. The notes M and B stand for mulatto and black, where each person was from and how they came to be free. This allows historians to reconstruct what that person's experience on the war may have been. And the notes on past ownership gives us a sense of the ways people ran away in groups and with families, supporting each other in their quest for freedom. An entire searchable database of the Canadian copy of the Book of Negroes is available online in Library and Archives of Canada. So, to say no more, let's look at the Book of Negroes. Where are y'all butts at? So we're going to go here. I don't know how clear you're going to see this, but I'm going to put the link to the Book of Negroes in the chat room. Copy before I share. All right. So you can look at it. There it is. Book of Negroes. All right, so let me share. Let's look at the Book of Negroes really quickly. Oh, I thought it was here. Okay. I hope you guys can see it. Probably not. Let me reshare. God damn. I could get. Oh, why is it so many? All right. All right. Here we go. There we go. All right. So I'm going to make it bigger. It's saying inspection row of Negroes. Book of Negroes. This page, I'm going to make it bigger. It's the way they recorded the names that got me going. They have top row. See if I can make it a little bigger. Okay. Names and their commanders. Stephen, Spencer. This is in 1783, y'all. Where bound? Port Roseway. Negroes' names and age. William Scott. Valentine, Jane. And it's just funny what they put a description. Stout fellow is Jane, 28 years old. She's a stout wench. Wench. Stout wench. um, Charles, DO, whatever the hell that means. Amy Bolden, stout wench. Scipio or Lipio, stout fellow, stout girl, stout fellow, stout wench, fine boy, stout wench, stout fellow, Peter, stout fellow, Pompey, just with a wife, I don't know, Elisa, fine girl, stout fellow, Lewis is a stout fellow, stout wench, mulatto, her name is Leticia, stout wench, Sam, stout. Uh, you guys can look at this. Francis, 48, very, very stout, big fella. Black. Ephraim, 60 years old, stout man of his age. Stout fellow, stout wench. Peggy's a stout wench. Grace, she's a fine girl. Shit is funny as hell. But they have quite a few pages here. And I put the link in the chat so you guys can go over it. So I'm gonna open the panel now to let everyone up so you understand. Damn, it's raining and storming now. So let me put the link in the chat because I would love to hear your thoughts. Where did you go? Oh, here you go. Here's the link. Paste. I would really like to hear your thoughts. You know, in terms of, you know, everything that was done, that they said that was done to the Indians, literally happened to us. Everything to a T. Everything. And it's so sad how people that look like us, and a lot of them ain't us, are literally trying really hard to stick to that African shit. And we're not going to allow it. Let them be that. But they're not going to steal our history because we had a history here and we had a horrible history here. We had a horrible history of being taken over. Everything that was and some that was written about what was done, it's just horrible. I don't even know how these people, children, have a conscience of what was done. Now, the interesting thing with the Black Europeans, the nobles, all the ones that they kicked their asses out of here, out of Boston and all that shit, and the nobles that went along with them, black nobles, okay? You heard what they said. Kicked their asses out of here. They kicked the redcoats out of here. Now, my thing is because they were in charge of the 13 colonies. And my thought is that they were some fucked up people. I'm serious. They were running these colonies over here and over the enslavement that was going on over here. Those black British, and they were ugly, very ugly. When I watched Woman King, I literally got a picture in my head on how they were for white men to jump up and want to fuck them up, get tired of their mess. So they were not good people at all. They were horrible. They were horrible. They had to be running these colonies like something horrible. They had to be. I don't I I just I just can't believe it because I mean, did you have the 13 colonies and they're saying everything was wholly so. And I could just imagine how it felt to work for those people. They had to be terrible, terrible. And the thought of them having allies, and you know who their allies are, Indian allies. Okay. They had allies and they took their allies' asses out of here and they put them on the sugar canes. And that's a fact. Stop the cap. The 13 colonies was America. Outside of that, you already know what it was. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna play like I don't even understand you. But anyway, they put them in the sugarcane islands. They put them in Jamaica. They put them in Nova Scotia, like I told y'all. You got the Book of Negroes that left here with them. And it's like um, they had their Indian allies, and um, that's the British. The revolutionaries, the Bluecoats, had their Indian allies, which clearly explains how they were able to march in the South. Just prior to kicking the British ass out of here, they still had their allies, so they can go down south and colonize it a little better and expand the 13 colonies lands by terribly. I mean, I'm reading about how all these white people came over here and they were burning down shit, and it was just terrible, something terrible. And I'm glad I didn't live in those days. But that was Benjamin Franklin's goal, to get more people over here, purely white, that look like him. But what is troubling to me is everything being black and tawny over here, like he said, the holy so America, period, point blank. Now, I know he was including the nobles and the British too, because they were here, they were living here, because it was their job to do what they were doing here in the 13 colonies. But he wanted to bring more over. And I can imagine, you know, how it was dealing with niggas. And then you turn around and you got the tawny Indians, okay, over all the Indians. And they enslaved people. And the colonizers enslaved them. So I know, now I know why they the British and the Bluecoats had Indian allies, because some Indians was not having it, under couldn't take their shit no more, being enslaved under them on their own fucking land. Yeah. Smoke Benjamin, yeah, he was white. He was very clear about that. The Sachs, and he said that, purely white. He was born up in Boston, and he was a slave too. Benjamin Franklin. He was poor. He didn't have shit when he went to Philadelphia, but he built himself up. Um, he he was white, and that was very clear. But every goddamn thing around him was black and tawny, and he wanted to bring more of his own people over here. But what's interesting is the all the different tribes, they were even brown and tawny, because if they actually looked like him, he would have mentioned that. He would have literally mentioned that. When you look at all these tribes here now that were originally here for thousands and thousands of years, these fucking people look nothing like what he described. So this is how I know we were reclassified. There's no way you're purely white and you're a fucking Indian. No way. Not an Indian of this land. Bull crap. And they already said what the Yamasees did, running up in other tribes and stuff. Yes. So my thing is we have some serious work to do, and we have a real good fight. And a lot of it is in our favor because we have proof to what was done to us in our history. We have the proof. There's no way that we don't have the proof. The proof comes from their own words, their own official documents. So it's not going to be, it's going to be a fight, but we have to do it. I do. I can't stand when somebody uh describe me as black. Oh, that shit. It's humiliating. I don't like it. I want to be described as who I am. We were reclassified so many goddamn times. It's just ridiculous. And keeping up the lies. And the problem with the black Europeans, okay, that were over these damn colonies. Well, see, that as Benjamin Franklin said, the Anglos and the Anglos, let me see, the Sacs, he said the Sacs and the Anglos made up chiefly of all the purely white people in the world. So, I mean, but you also had the black English, which are the British, the ones that they sent down here, the nobles. They were the ones running these goddamn colonies. And actually, they were the first ones to come off the damn boat and up there in Mass and Cape Cod. They were the first ones to come here. Yep. But they were called the British. They came here first. Remember them now. The blacks that came, the pilgrims was not no white people. But anyway, the link is in the chat for anybody that want to talk. So that's like real crazy. Because if the Germans, the Italians, the Spanish, all the French, the Scots, if all of them were black and tawny, what the hell? And they were all here. So those French and the Germans and the Scots that came here to enslave, that's what you was dealing with. Black and tawny. Facts. So Kingdom of English, if you got a problem with that, you need to go and take that up with Benjamin Franklin. Okay? Because at the time of enslavement over here, he was explaining who these people were in their description. Must I bring it up again? Let's go, honey. You need to take this out with Ben Franklin. Because he said all of Africa is black when we know they didn't use that word then. But then Asia, tawny, America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. All right. So if you saying wholly so, he ain't mentioned nobody else. Only thing that was over here was the Indians. So if America is wholly so tawny and black, hello. And in Europe, he's saying this. The Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Sweden are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion, as are the Germans. All right? He said this. So you need to take this up with him because he printed it out. And while we are, as I may call it, scouring the planet by clearing America of woods and so making the side of our globe reflect a brighter light in the eyes of the inhabitants of Mars and Venus, why should we, in the sight of superior beings, darken its people? So I don't know what to tell you. I don't. They wanted to exclude all blacks and tawnies up out of here. So you need to take that up with him, not with Sister Bethy. That's his writing back in that time. No, you use logic. I'm using facts. Facts that I can hold on to. You use logic. That's enough logic. When you see the truth, this shit hurts. I know it hurts, but get over it. Take some painkillers. That's not my problem. That's more than logic. That's facts. That's primary source. Do you mean the titles that dude had? He was a drafter of the goddamn Constitution. He's on the $100 bill. Yo, back that ass up, Kingdom of English. Seriously. Seriously, bro. Hit the link, y'all. Here it is. Come on, Uru. Come on, y'all. I know it hurts. Get over it. Yeah, we're the ones they gave. I went over. You missed a lot of my segments. They gave Chief Succumb goddamn English name. They gave all the Indians English surnames. You didn't know? When we converted to Christianity or the baptism, it took place during baptism. They gave us Indian English Bible names. That's what they did. Dang, 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 dang. Very clear. Nope. The Indians over here did not already have English surnames. They were given to them. It was an order. See, I have the facts in my hand. Census sheets, instructions. Hello. They gave them English surnames when they converted. Woohoo. Not my problem. You don't like this? Then I advise you to go to the Department of Interior, and get in their ass, not mine. I'm only reading the facts on this government's documents, their instructions on what to do. Facts. Facts. So I'm not even going to waste my time with you. But anyway, feel free to join the panel, y'all. I give y'all a few minutes to get on up here. Let's go. I ain't got time for no little butthurt ass niggas. Facts is facts. So I'll wait for y'all to hit the link. Send a chat. Let's see. I'll give you a minute.
Just rather be alone in my zone writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours, thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realized they all some fucking cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers, and we want it now, never later, no more favors. Done with all these traitors who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow, so I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road, and I'd rather stay at home. And life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy, you do this for my old lady. Yeah.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
See, ain't shit changed, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no ceilings. Pour me up a cup or two so it can stop the bleeding. Roll me up a split or two, and now I'm hella weeded, cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that nigga undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that drama, mama, I don't get between it. They be trying to turn it on you, damn they really tweaking. We broke, but we wealthy in ability and hopes fits. Bitch, no, we only need the brokerage. We only overage, overseeing all the dope shit. Killing these cats with they facilities. Flush down the drain, leaning through all 8 lives till that become they centerpiece. Unfold and be a masterpiece at half of all our faculties. We actually dope, you just don't know that half of we.
We actually just don't know the half of it.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stayed grinding, trying to hold our chips. And thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stayed grinding, trying to hold our chips. And thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
All right, y'all. So y'all scared to come up. Y'all don't want to talk. It's all right. So a baller was no, yeah. I like that one, boy. Oh boy, that one is hot. And he said they told us to keep our mouth shut. Whoa, not no more. Not no more. Well, Kingdom of English, it's wonderful that you live for Rome and English and England. So live. I don't give a damn. Listen, one thing about me, I don't give a damn what America was called before it was America. I don't give a damn about going back that far. I don't. All I care about is tracing my family back to who they are and correcting the lies. That's all I care about. Beyond that, I don't give a fuck. I'm serious. So you want to dress in them little clothes that they wear on the 10 Commandments, wearing them fucking Wonder Woman bracelets and shit, and them Roman skirts and shit like Caesar and shit. Go ahead, wear that shit, wear it proudly, but don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. They kicked y'all asses up out of here. For real. And now you back. So if you live for the Kingdom of English and Rome, take your ass back there with the Queen and spend time with her grandkids that's bugging the fuck out, according to news media. Go your ass back there. Why are you here? You have no land claims here. Your land claims you have, but they're beyond the scene. You heard what Chief Kanasatago said. Get your asses up out of here. Y'all little black Europeans is hard. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I wasn't here. I don't care. All I care about is my people. Hey, hey, girl. We ain't whooping his ass. We got a little Roman in here. I think it could be a red coat coming back.
All up in my.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I'm back. I'm coming up here because nobody else came and I finally got parked. I was driving on the
Oh, hey,
road.
beautiful
But
girl. Why these goddamn black Europeans coming back up in here?
I don't know what they want.
He talking about he lives for England and Rome. Oh, okay. I see you moving silence. You can turn it off, honey. He talking about he lived for Rome and English. Well, take your ass back,
Right. Why are you over here?
right?
I don't understand
Still
that.
take it. The reason, and it's like they know they're getting the benefits because a lot of people are not self-aware of who they really are, and they're taking advantage of the ignorance, and it's just not right. Sometimes, Sister Bethy, it's just I need to get it through my thick skull. No matter how many smiles they give you, and thank yous, you have to understand that we at war, and this is a competition. This is our land they want, and it's not right. It's not fair. So it's like, and if you got anybody, any Aboriginals who are angry with you, I will always argue with them and say, don't war with me, war with these foreigners that's coming over here taking advantage of you and your properties and all the things you have. War with
Fact.
them. Sometimes we gotta direct the fight to them and understand that we are not the enemy. We're the same and we fight for the same thing. And
Fact.
the more we understand that, the better. I enjoyed your segment yesterday. Shout out to
Yeah.
all the people. Shout out to everybody who's fighting and standing up, man. Don't worry. And people who are divided because or with some belief system or whatever, just stay strong because you in the
Always.
right. Do your research. You're in the right. Don't worry about it. We are all here. You know, support. Everybody needs support. Even I need support. And
Fact.
you know, we can't do it by ourselves. You know,
That's
sometimes
right.
we need people to lift each other up. We because you don't understand how this fight is very it's very spiritual and it's very mental too. And and they're so stuck in the matrix that it's almost like I'll be honest. When I get up, it's almost like I see it. Everybody going their own direction, and you're the only one who's woke up, and everybody else is still sleeping among the sleeping dead. You the only one woke. Everybody's not going to wake up at the same time. Sometimes, like I think Dan Callow said, you got to be their own alarm clocks. You know, no matter what. You know,
Facts.
so
And that's a fact. And the
I
beautiful
don't.
thing, I'm not warring with any Aboriginals or American Indians, aka I use them interchangeably because they're
Right.
the same, one and the same to me. I'm
Mhm.
American Indian, I'm not warring with anybody in our community,
That's
not
right.
at
I said,
all.
yep. I say I'm Indigenous Aboriginal American Indian. There you go.
There you go.
And
Hello.
I always do that because we all look. When you do the geological research, you're gonna find the truth. There's a lot that happened. A lot of sellout men who look like us sold us out to these religions, and it's like and it hurts that when you find the truth, it hurts because all these religions were, and you find you know what it's always said: follow the money. You always follow where that money. Who funded these organizations?
Yep.
Who was the founders and who funded the founders of that organization? People
Facts.
got to do research on the organizations before they join. You got to question everything,
Facts.
research everything. You don't just take someone's word over it. That's the problem. People don't question. And sometimes I always ask them, do you go there because your family go there? Or do you go there because you like some lady there and you just want to go there because there's a lady in there you like? That's part of some of the reasons why that. Some go in there
Facts.
because there's a woman there they like, or the women go in there because the man in there they like. You know, so come on. Sometimes it's a social gathering, and I don't mind, but the churches are taking the money out of their hands and giving it to the enemies. They're giving it to
Facts.
the banks. They give it to these
Facts.
banks and they gentrify us through our homes. They raise the prices. They price us out so they can bring more foreigners in those homes. You'd be surprised because people they already brought over are being used to go in them homes. The next thing you know, they're homeless. And I just gave a homeless person some food just today. And there was a guy that was at the restaurant. He was just very, very secretive, and it's like when I have that vibe, I always stay away. And I have that sixth sense about myself because when you see something that's wrong, you just stay away, because with this truth and learning, they know that we know. And the more truth we know, sometimes you got to look both ways before you cross the street. You might have
Facts.
to do that more often. You might have to
Yep.
be careful of the people who look just like you, smile in your face. And sometimes they do that, and it's like people don't realize your worst enemy could be your best friend. or someone who actually loves you, who says they love you, and
Yep.
they just use you. So you got to be careful. And I'm
Very
always careful because the only number one goal is to get our lands back, get things back to the way they were before all these settlers and foreigners came over here, bringing all this mess, all these your doctrines and stuff. You get it, doctrines, and then you got doctrine discovery. They just never figure it out. All under the Roman Catholic Church. You know what I say all the time? This is no longer United States of America. It's United States of Great Britain by Vatican.
facts.
It's America. We're American. We're American. See, you United States citizens, whether it's the United States government or the police force, is to police you and enforce their treachery, terrorism upon you, violating your rights. A lot
Yep.
of police officers are doing violating people's rights for no reason, and they're locking them up. You got a lot of our people in jails. I've experienced myself, and it's an all-out war out here. It's not funny, and people I don't know where these people's minds at. And then you got the ministers. You got certain ministers who are in that boule stuff and that
Oh,
talented tent stuff
Yep.
that will sell you out. Whenever the alphabet gangsters want information, they go straight to the ministers
Yep.
and they give them information, and it sucks. You might have a lot of people who are jealous. When you're dealing with church folks, you're dealing with a lot of jealousy, envy. You
Same
deal with
thing
a
that
lot
go
of
on the street going in the church.
exactly. There's no difference. You got
Pastor smoke more weed than the congregation.
exactly, and it's like there's a lot of that going on even out there. They've sent a whole bunch of agents in all these any group of so-called group black functions that's there. I don't care what it is or what it is. They're there. They're gonna
Yep.
always send somebody to look after you. So that's why I don't. It's hard for me to have someone next to me or trust anyone because this right here is the more people are waking up, and I'm gonna say right now, people are waking up. There are people who are trying to do something, but they're
Yep.
scared because they know how and they're doing it like playing chess. Sometimes when you go about it, you gotta like play chess against yourself sometimes. What would
Yep.
you do that will stop you from progressing or doing the next step? That's what it comes down to. I don't come on panels and try to say, you know what we need to do, and them people because of this and that. You got to stop preaching on people.
Yep.
They probably heard that 100 times before you told them. And they're probably tired of hearing it. Because if you build it, they'll come. They want to see something that is structured enough to where they can help out. They know that they can trust. The trust is what's missing because I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people, important people, died for trusting certain people who were going at them with their own interests and their own agendas. A lot of people, men, a lot of decent men have fallen. Some were used as a means to do harm. I'm
Yep.
talking about mental harm to us.
Right.
Whenever you go against,
Psychologicals.
whenever you go against
Psychological.
the belief system, you're automatically ostracized. Nobody likes you. They don't call you no
Blackball.
more.
Yep.
It's terrible. It's like we got so much this so much hate and it's got to stop. Like I see more thug activity in the church than I do in the streets. I see a lot of that going on. It's almost like there's no difference.
I seen two girls get up in the middle of church, in the middle of Sunday sermon, fight in the church.
Yeah,
Pastor just kept preaching.
mhm. It's like you don't care because it's like not where is that money going? It's like, and I always thought about this. I said to myself, you know what?
Well, they
You
say it's
just,
to pay the church bills, but then they
huh,
got this long ass list. Oh, the
uh-huh.
pastor this fund, the pastor that funded, this
Ain't
fund.
no
Oh, it's like
fun. That's all a
it's
lie.
a
He
mess.
giving some of that money. He giving some of
It's
that
a
money to
mess.
his seamstresses and all that stuff. That gets on my nerves. And why is all the women? Why do women always got to be in charge of the money? Because you know what's going on. I know what's going on behind it. You ain't fooling nobody.
Sometimes in them
Ridiculous.
churches, you do have to be careful of who's overseeing what, because a lot of people that come to church, they come there for supposedly for
Mm-hmm.
correction. So you're dealing
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of people with
Yep.
um that can be triggered when they see money and they, get the sticky fingers. So you really have to be careful. So unfortunately, a lot of the women that are in there don't have those backgrounds. Now, a lot do. There are a lot
Mhm.
of women that are in prison for fake checks and counterfeit and shit like
Pyramid
that.
schemes.
But
Pyramid
but
schemes
when
started in the church.
yeah,
It
yeah,
started there in the pyramid, and they implemented the pyramid scheme from churches to the outside the churches to now online. It just it's a terrible trend. But I was just there was a guy who was speaking about the bootleg, and he made so much sense. And sometimes we got to be careful who's the agitator. You know, these agitators, they send their agitators to say, we need to do this, we need to do that, just to agitate you. But what they're really saying is, okay, they try to pick out who's actually going to make the move so they can go call the you know who so they can go get them people.
right.
And it's like that's why I don't like when people say we need to, and this is because of this. It's like you got to cut that out. Sometimes I got to take
Hmm.
the accountability for myself. What can I do? Because we all can do something.
Yes,
Everybody has a plan. You just never done it yet. It's like nobody ever thinks to think for themselves. They
yeah,
always allow the system to do the thinking for them. And that's scary, especially
very
when they
scary.
depend on you.
Because
And I
that's
know
how we
some,
was trained. We
yeah,
were militantly
hmm
trained as a people. So a lot of our men that have gone to
hmm
prison, then they
yeah,
get the double whammy.
yeah.
First
And
they
it's
get it
like,
in school and they get it in prison. So they're always looking for guidance.
hmm
Uh,
yeah.
Seriously, so it's hard. Hey, bomb mom, you've
And
been
it's like, and,
silent.
and, and it's like, and it's
Hang
like
on
when you
one
look.
second, move in silence. The
Oh,
bomb
sure.
mom been up here for a minute. Hey, hon.
Yeah, my bad. How you
Sleep.
doing, the bomb mama? How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Look at
I
you
just
looking
don't
all
understand.
pretty and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Where's your brother? I haven't seen him in a while.
I just seen him today. I was hoping he would come by here. I met a mutual friend of ours, so he might.
Oh, okay.
But I just don't understand why they come around if if you're not with what we're with. Why are you even over here, stating your opinion or your feelings? It don't have nothing to do if we're going over facts and stuff that we
Intelligence.
prove, and we're
Mhm.
trying to get this truth out. Why are you over here bothering
Because
with
they
us?
mad.
Just go somewhere else then. Like, leave us alone.
Yeah.
They mad. They mad. When you show facts from the actual government and stuff, that shit, it's like a bomb and it hurts. The truth hurts. Hey, big dog, that's you. I know it's big dog. Big,
Yeah.
that's big dog. I can't hear you. Turn your camera on real quick, big dog. Cause these, oh shit, he fell off.
He'll he'll
Oh,
get he'll
yeah,
get back
he'll
on.
get back on. But
Yeah.
it's I they're mad. They're agents. They're
Yeah.
mad. They're
hmm
mad. They're angry, and a lot of them are from the islands, unfortunately, because they
You got.
fear.
It's like it's a
And it's
dominant.
sad to say that, but it's
Yeah.
very true. A lot of people that were. Oh yeah, that's him. Hey, okay, big dog. There you go. Hey, big dog.
Hey, big dog. Woof, woof.
What's up, OG?
Oh, he must have think we heard him because his mic is muted.
Yeah.
Your mic muted, big dog. But we show them proof and they get mad. But I was told, you know, that when people come in and they start talking like that in the chat, don't respond to them.
I don't. I always just block them in the
But in the
chat.
head, you can laugh because they're in there and
Yeah.
nobody's responding to them.
It's like,
They're trying to be a distraction and they're not doing a good job.
for me,
Hey,
I'm
big
trying to.
dog. Huh?
I guess,
Now we're speaking to big dog. His mic is muted.
Yes, ma'am. Much love and
Oh, there we
respect to you
go.
and the family. Much love and
hey, big
respect to the
dog.
brother, the bomb mom. Much love and respect to everybody in the chat. You was going in, brother, sister, back to you always going in. Much love
uh,
to everybody.
well,
You too, brother.
I'm glad you got your regular channel back now, right, big dog?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Y'all
off for two
subscribe to
weeks
Big
strike.
Dog, huh?
Yes, ma'am. I'm back.
Okay, that's the regular channel, not the second one.
Yes,
They
man. The
t-
regular
uh,
channel back.
so all
I'll
of the
check it out.
strikes are gone now, right?
I gotta walk off some time, man. I gotta like not talk about the medical system. You know, they don't want me
Yeah,
talking about that at
Oh
all.
my
So
goodness. Oh my.
yeah. I was listening. I was shocked. Uh, uh, Cuddy said that they t- put Chief Holiday channel down
Oh, that's what
for
happened. Cause
yeah.
I was looking
I
for
was
Cuddy.
so
I was like, "Where's Cuddy?"
I was
I
looking
thought something happened to
he's
Cuddy. I
on
was
he's on
man.
Chief Holiday's other channel. I hope he don't lose that channel, man. That'll be fucked up.
I
That's not
know
his
because I
real
was like,
video.
I thought something happened to him. I was like, "Oh shoot,
No,
something happened."
he said that they strike his channel. I don't know
Oh,
why. I
I
don't I
was
didn't
there. I was there. He didn't really say nothing that would harm anybody. I don't know what's going on, but whatever it was made him angry because I was there. I mean, you can go over the video, but it's like I don't think he said anything that would be offensive. But if I guess sometimes when you tell the truth, they
yeah,
get
they go
upset.
on. Yeah, but we still got to be careful what we do. That's why I don't share content because you
Mhm.
will get striked. And I just don't do it. I don't do it.
And
And I
it's
constantly tell
I
them,
think you
please
know
don't
what.
do it. But
Mm,
they're
and
just gonna
they're
fuck
quick to
around and
strike.
lose that channel with all them subscribers, and that'll be fucked up.
But they will always put these lies on here. They put all these schemes and scams every single day, ripping people
Yeah,
off every single day. But they don't ever give them no flags. But as soon as someone tell the truth,
yeah.
they give them a flag, and that's terrible. It's
Yeah,
the
but
opposite.
we're censored. So that's why I don't say anything in the medical. You know, once that document I was reading had all that shit in there, and I just bypassed it because I know the censorship. So I just don't even talk that way on here. I don't
I was
mention
right.
anything that I know can get triggered.
I
And I
was
don't
looking
show
for you.
videos
Yeah.
that could get triggered in that manner. I don't do it.
I was looking for
I
Cuddy. I
don't.
was like, "Where's Cuddy? Where's Cuddy?" I was like, and I checked again. I was like, "What's going on?" I thought something happened to my channel. I'm like, "Wait a minute, is he on there?" I was looking for Cuddy. I
But
said,
he's on
"Anybody?"
Chief's other channel now. He's on the other channel. So you should subscribe to that one because he still come on. But
I
on
gotta,
Chief's
I gotta
other
figure
channel.
out. I gotta figure out how to get on that one because I don't. I have Cuddy's, but I don't have the other
Hey
channel.
Gretchen, put Chief's links in the chat and Big Dogs.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. We need to link, build, man, because we gotta build and because
hey,
everybody has
brother,
ideas.
Huh?
Cuddy got Cuddy got his own channel that he be streaming from, DJ Cut Tack. So look
No,
for that one.
he's on Chief's other channel. And he
But he
streams all
also,
three of them.
yeah, he has his own channel also. But yeah, he normally
Oh,
streams from. Yeah, he got his own one. DJ Cut Tack. You can look it up, and that's where
yes.
I always catch him on.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
go get it.
me too,
Because
because
I
I need
thought
to know
somebody would
because
be in the audience.
I need to know too, because I was like looking for the Cuddy. It was like, because I always hear Cuddy in the morning, and
Oh.
and it's like I said, and well, at least that's good, He's still, doing what he does, and that's what we need sometimes, We got it, and it's like you have to be steadfast and unmovable, and just focus on what's really important. Don't let no distractions get in your way,
Thanks, Empress. Facts.
and it's
This
like don't
Chief's
let no.
other channel right here. I'm putting it in the chat room and in the back chat for you.
I was
Paste.
just looking at Dane's one when he was talking about the spaceships and stuff. Pretty
Oh, I
awesome
didn't see
stuff.
that one.
Oh yeah, it's pretty
Now I'm gonna go
awesome.
get.
And
I'm
also
gonna go.
he got another one that he brought in that he was talking about some guy and he was just and he was talking
Big
about the
dog.
bullet and stuff like that. So he got another good one too. I think it was 2 days ago.
This is
Very,
big.
very detailed, and very good. And it's like
Yeah.
everybody has an idea. We all know what to do, and we all know what the opposition is. We all have an idea. We don't have to go on panels and talk about it, but put that idea to work, and it just makes you become your own inventor because it's in us. It's like I
Right.
got ideas because it's like when I go to work, I promise it's almost like I see the work being done 12 steps ahead of everybody, and I get the work done in my mind before I even get the work done. And it's like we got that ability, and it's like you don't realize the abilities we really have as Aborigines. It's like I really think I'm not saying thing. Well, Marvel came from us. Let me be honest. We got abilities that we don't know. No, that's because they put us in compulsory education to the
And
point,
they suppress them.
and
They
then we get
suppress them with a
indoctrinated,
lot of poisons too.
and then we get indoctrinated. So
Yes.
and get say that we get cursed for being in this condition, so we feel obligated to feel that way, and we take the pain because we're cursed that way. And that's terrible. I hate living like that. It's not a way to live. That's
And that was their whole purpose.
the most. It's like an emotional what they call it. It's like you get emotional abuse. And it's like, man,
Yeah.
I should get my disability check for this stuff because this is terrible.
Yep.
Please send out as many, send lawsuits and audits and evictions. It's coming and war is coming. But you know what? I'm ready.
Thank you
With
Hey,
for the
what
real,
cash apps,
economics,
y'all.
whatever.
hey, real quick, Sister Betty. Have you heard what Florida and a couple other states are doing to try to change Black history with the what they call it, the critical race theory, saying we as Black people gained the trade from slavery, and we also, we we gained the trade from slavery,
See
and
that?
also we enslaved ourselves. That they didn't have no parts. You can look it up real whenever you get a minute.
Oh, I
Critical
gotta look
race
that up.
therapy in
But
Florida, Florida,
we did
Florida
enslave
Congress.
ourselves. We
Yeah,
did.
that's what they
We were the
sister Betty.
owners. He did right on that one. We did. We enslaved ourselves. We owned our own selves. Our families owned us. And that's a fact. But the thing about it, what makes me so upset is they hear about our history because it's handed down to them too. If they're your age and my age and younger, the history is handed down to them too. But what we have to correct them with, and I try to be real clear, say, don't fucking get me mixed up with Black Europeans, please, Mr. White Man. They all say our niggas look alike, but hold up for 1 second. Just don't. We have to. That's why we got to declare who we are, because with white people that come here and they're you know, coming from Germany and all these other countries, Italy, Spain, England, all these different countries. Remember, like Benjamin Franklin said, Tawny and Black ruled over those areas. But when they come over here, I'm like, I'm not that Black European. Don't get me mixed up with them, please. Don't. You got to tell them that because for all they know, we look like the people that used to rule their country and was real fucked up people. And I don't want to be accused of being a Black European because from what I'm reading about them, they were some terrible people. They were horrible. And I mean, the shit they did, man, don't confuse me with them. That's not my bloodline. We got our fucking names. Literally, it tells you how we got our names. We got them by a order from the goddamn um Department of Interior during the census. So don't be saying that we got them from our slave map. That's an old Kuta Kinte fucking story because that's not true. It's not our history, you know. So that's that. Don't.
Not
This is why I say don't confuse me with them. I'm not them. Them are not my ancestors. Facts.
try to end it off. Try to end it off very peaceful, very respectful, and always tell
But that's
them.
funny. Hey, Big
But
Dog,
it's like when you do
you
it, they
get
still keep pushing them. I'm like,
you gotta email me that article, Big Dog, because I know I'm a laugh. They said we. What did he
Yes,
say?
ma'am. I email it. Basically,
What did he say?
we benefited from slavery by learning these trades, how to build a house, masonry. We profited from slavery, and I'm gonna send it to you in a minute. Give me a minute, but I
Oh, you
promise.
gotta send me that. That is funny as hell. It's funny, but today's segment was literally about the Europeans when they enslaved the Indians. And that's some real shit. Oh, he fell off. He must be having issues. That's what today's segment was about the Indians that were enslaved by the Europeans. And that was our asses, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
It's true.
They try to give them.
But I gotta read that article Big Dog's talking about. That shit is funny. You better be.
Anything they bring up is going to be funny. It's almost like the
You
science
can't
fiction.
blame them, but damn, say, bro, please don't confuse us with the black. Don't confuse me with the black Europeans. Don't.
That word is
Please
just
don't.
so disrespectful in itself. That word black.
Who?
I said the word black is so disrespectful in itself. The term black.
Yeah, it is. It's very disrespectful.
And it's like they know what that means. You're a slaver or a slave worker or a soldier or something else in the black law dictionary. It's nothing to, and that's why I'm gonna do what I can to get that off my license because I didn't
But you
want to be
can.
yeah
You
get
can
that
get
off,
that off your license.
get that off because it's like they treat you different. They take so much out of your wages, and it's like everything you take out is helping these income, helping everybody else except you. And that's just it's not right. You got all these liberated workers coming in there and just taking advantage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be funny. Lunatic black Republican says blacks owe whites reparations. I'm gonna read this before I do YouTube. Oh, I'm sitting here dying. This is hold up. Okay, yeah. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna share this. This shit is funny. Big dog. I'm gonna share it. I don't give a damn if I get a strike. This shit is funny. Let me share it. Do a share screen. Let me see. Sports. Is this it? Oh, here it is. Oh, bomb mom fell off. This is funny, y'all.
Very interesting for you today. It's
Fair
delusional, it's
use.
deranged, it's backwards, as much of the American right wing is, but it opens up a very interesting conversation. A Republican candidate for governor, Mark Robinson, who happens to be black, and this is very relevant to what we're going to hear from him, is in favor of reparations, but not the kind you might think of. What Mark Robinson says he wants for reparations is black people should give white people reparations as a thank you for ending slavery. Yes. Now, I know you're saying, wait, but David, that doesn't make sense for so many different reasons. Of course. But let's first listen to what he had to say in its full ridiculous glory, and then we will talk about it.
Some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations.
Fair use.
And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes.
Whoa.
Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you. Somebody after those fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have, and they did it for you. There are people in their graves right now, and they are there because they were willing to stand up and fight for you. Those folks on the Edmund Pettus Bridge carrying American flags, take that, Colin Kaepernick, living in a society that he could scarcely acknowledge, something that he has never known, living with a bigotry that none of us can imagine.
Right.
Carried American flags on that bridge. And when they were hit upside the head with nightsticks and shot with water hoses,
It's a purple.
the ground, they got up and picked those flags up and kept marching.
All right. So I guess he's saying not only do black people,
but I'm gonna give y'all this video.
You see the purple on the side? You know what that represents? The purple. I think it's what is it? Alpha Q dog? What's it? Q?
That's
Look right
funny
there.
as hell. Philly said drop the link.
My
Okay,
goodness.
copy.
I see
That is
that string behind.
hilarious.
I see a string behind him. This is ridiculous. Oh,
Well,
please.
but that was a 2021.
A
There's
long time.
another one he got back here. I didn't get to look at it. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for that one, but I did say fair use. Well, I can use it because it was only being used to whatever. Dang, how I get this damn thing off? Victor, I'm sitting up here cracking up big time. That's about as funny as what Tyler Perry said that the reason why Rosa Parks didn't get up out her seat off the bus because his mother was waiting outside to kick her butt.
Yeah, Sister Bethany, that's why I had to bring it to your attention. Like I said, we got some comedians out here, man. They change and
He
they
said
changing history.
somebody took strikes for you in that field.
They
Yeah, they're
changing
sounding like
history
I'm a drug issue and a
right in
boycott.
front of our faces, Sister
Does
Bethany.
he
You're
even know
100% right. I'm gonna
That's
give it to
great.
both of y'all. We gotta keep challenging this shit. Go
But
ahead, Bob Mom. Much
he's
love.
that message is to the pan boo boos because
Mhm.
we didn't ask for reparations.
Nope.
We did not. Not once did we ask for reparations yet. Anyway, but he's referring to the pan boo boos because they're the only ones out here crying for some goddamn reparations when they need to take their ass to Africa to the African kings that sold their ass supposedly. They better watch the Woman King and see how their asses got.
And Sister
Make
Bethany,
believe.
I sent you some videos. Please watch them tonight because on the other one it says, "Y'all, we benefited from slavery by learning their trades." I'm
Hey
telling you,
Warren,
it's mind blowing, Sister Bethany.
but I gotta watch it. I'm gonna watch it and then I'm gonna play it tomorrow. But I know I'm gonna get in trouble for that one because I monetize, so that this shit is gonna be funny. Let me see.
Yeah,
This
my bad,
one.
Sister Bethany. You know they don't want us getting this information out to the people.
Well,
Bad enough for getting shadowed.
how to teach Black history. Oh, oh my goodness. African American studies. Oh my goodness. You know I'm gonna show this tomorrow. I'm gonna show that tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. I knew you would enjoy it. I knew you would.
And of course his face is up there. But we got their asses with the law. We coming for their asses. I tell you, we coming for their asses, y'all. For them libraries, we're coming for them. And they better hope that they don't get little visits from different little Pookies and Ray Rays around the different states. I'm serious because they've gone too far.
They
They've
are
gone too far,
very
and
disrespectful.
it's a Pookie and Ray Ray in every goddamn state. I have no control of them. That's all
Hey,
I
and
got
if
to
if
say.
if y'all want to look it up in the chat, all you gotta look at is Florida State uh, Senate uh, passing a bill about critical race theory in 2023. That's all you gotta look up. Put something like that in the chat, and you'll
That's
see exactly
funny.
what I'm
I'm
talking
going
about.
to wait a minute. I think I should show that one now because that one seemed funny.
Well, the
Let me
key word is theory because
right.
it's just that it's not proof of anything. They're theorizing.
Wait a minute. Let me get
Yep.
this one up here.
Make it
The
imaginary.
bomb out. Our people believe in that theory. We
There's
believe
something
that
about
most of us believe that theory is a fact
Oh
and
my
ain't
God.
willing to question it. So that's
It
my
is.
biggest thing. You're 100% right. It is a theory, but
You're
they
right.
believe it's a fact.
You're
World's
right.
greatest
It's
ninja.
like gravity.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
shit.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not the one. Big dog.
World's greatest Imagineers. I call
Oh,
them
this ain't
Imagineers.
it. Um, Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Here I come, y'all. Here we go, y'all.
Sister Becky
There
over
you.
there cracking up. Go ahead,
And,
sis.
and
I'm in here
I'm gonna say
dying.
one more thing before she starts it, because why are you theorizing? It's because you don't know for real. So if they knew for a fact, they wouldn't be theorizing. And I was that's all I wanted to say.
Facts. Facts.
Just gotta look for the
They wouldn't.
strings
That's
and
why they
follow the
do
money.
theories, because they don't know. They're trying to find out. Here we go, y'all. Fair use.
Point in Florida over race and education. The State Board of Education just approved new rules for how to teach Black history in public schools. And according to the Washington Post, the new standards say students should learn that enslaved people develop skills that, quote, could be applied for their personal benefit. And that during lessons about mob violence against Black residents, teachers should include acts of violence perpetrated against and by African Americans. So let's bring in Michael Eric Dyson, professor of African American Studies at Vanderbilt
Oh,
University,
not this,
Fair
the
use.
co-author
not this
of
coon.
Unequal, a story of America. Michael, first your reaction to these changes.
Well, Anna, thanks for having me. It's quite ludicrous. It's devastatingly deceitful. It's mendacious, and it doesn't recognize the central place
Fair
of
use.
pedagogy and teaching and curriculum in trying to get at lessons for young people. Why is the state trying to impose its hand on the teaching of history of African American people for the state's students? This is something that should be generated with educators, experts at disseminating information. This would be akin to saying that Native American people, when we teach their history, we should not only talk about the smallpox blankets that were distributed by the Pilgrims, but the attempt of Native Americans to defend themselves that was equally violent. This would be like teaching the Holocaust, saying that there were some good things that Jewish brothers and sisters picked up in those death camps that, should they survive, would be helpful for them to make their way in life. This is ludicrous. This was an institution of enslavement. Now they're saying we should teach both Rosa Parks and Thomas Jefferson. No problem there, except to say that Thomas Jefferson, while being a creative interpreter of American history and a contributor as a founding father, was also enslaving human beings. Rosa Parks was not. So this false equivalency between experiences of African American people and others being dictated to by the state of Florida is a grave disservice to true education in America. And those who are on the right wing, who supposedly want to keep government out of the classroom and the bedroom, are doing the exact opposite.
Context always matters, right? Florida's education commissioner argues that these.
I'm gonna stop it right there. But my thing is this, Mr. Coolman. Yeah, well, it's more lies, and this is what we're gonna fight. And he's
I
a
hope
big ass
Florida.
coon
I
because
don't think,
he
yeah.
don't know what the hell he talking about with his ass. That's why we have to file this lawsuit. We have to go after these dogs because our own people, and maybe he might not be one of us. Maybe he is a Black European back here in a suit. Okay, I don't know, but the problem is, and the issue that I have is foreigners teaching me about my fucking history. You're not going to do it.
They should just stop all completely.
Hey, Sister Becky.
Teach about your own damn history.
Exactly.
Don't try to
We
paint a history on mine, because then you're going to get in. Let's get into the whitewashing. Let's get into truth versus facts. Your goddamn founding father said this whole place was wholly so black and tawny. So how the fuck you get all these white Indian tribes? Don't get me started about history, Mr.
And Sister
Motherfucker.
Betty,
Sister
the
Betty, can I
thing
say
they need to
something?
realize is every landmass was Negroes. I don't know where
Yeah.
white people came.
And can I say
Well,
something?
they
I'm not saying
Anglo-Sax.
that
They
two
did
black
come from
people or
England, and
brown people can't make lighter children. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not ignorant to the fact that they can create every race, but there was Negroes on every landmass, and you didn't see pictures with pale people until the last 400
Hey,
years.
Warriors.
It's not for thousands and thousands of years old.
Put the
So
link
I
in the
don't know.
chat
So
for Warris.
all the indigenous
Put
people
the
of the
link in the
landmass
chat
were
for Warris.
all
There you go,
copper colored
Warris.
race, all through here, copper colored, all through the
But there
landmass.
were
Native
black
Americans.
Japanese, just like she was talking about the black Europeans. I mean, and
This one's
there's
really
Right.
a lot of white Africans. So
Right.
the way we're thinking about it, like just looking at people, we have to stop looking with our eyes
Here's the
because
link,
we can't
Warris.
tell. We have to
Right.
do the you have to do the genealogy and go through your family records and talk to your elders and really get to know where you come from because you can't tell where everybody else comes from just by
Right.
looking at them.
That's terrible by these schools.
I'm
That's
from
what they're
here.
doing. I feel like they shouldn't teach something they don't know.
In
It's
school,
like
they teach you all dark people come from Africa. They're making
That.
you
that's
think that
terrible.
all
Can't
dark
stand.
people come from Africa, and that's
Who
just not
Right.
true. They need
the
to
kids out
fix
of
it.
Right.
public school?
Just like all people that look like Asians don't come from China because I mean,
Yeah.
a Vietnamese get angry if you say that ask them if they Chinese.
Some
So don't
Hawaiians look
don't say
Chinese.
that about me. Just because I'm brown don't mean I came from Africa. Hell no. I'm the description of who Benjamin Franklin saw over here. I'm a just, I'm not going for the bullshit. I don't have a history of slavery. I have a history of being forced off my land. That I have. Off
Hey, can I?
my land in the South. I have a history
Yeah,
of that.
we have a history of being reclassified. That's our
Correct.
history.
8 times.
8 times, nine,
Oh, 9. Oh, Lord. Hey, can I
nine
say this real quick?
times.
Can I say this real quick? We seem like, but I'm talking about the North American mess. Wherever there's a church, it was conquered, regardless of what indoctrination it was. If you see a church, that means it was conquered by whatever came there by the Crusades. Go ahead. I'm about to end my point.
I can imagine, but don't forget now all the praying Indians that they convinced to convert. They built churches too.
1880, 1897.
Yeah.
I don't
So I mean,
understand how they're gonna teach that learned how to build and stuff. When they came over here, there were beautiful buildings already
Mhm.
standing that they were discovering already here. How can you say that the people of this land were savage, primitive when they were advanced people? They were, I mean, they were advanced people. They had technology in so many more advanced ways than we do. We have to physically do stuff. They were mentally and I mean they were could move objects. They could levitate. They had abilities. They
Told you,
were
X-Men,
powerful beings. There is
Marvel.
not just a primitive TP type
Nope.
Indian with feathers and shit.
We
That's
build
not all
castles.
that these that our people were in this land.
We
you're
They
build
were
talking about
castles,
them are the Indians that
pyramids.
they brought over here from different parts
These
of the
fucking
Americas. Those Indians that they got on the reservations, those are Indians
Mongoloids.
of the Americas, but not from the mainland. They brought them over here and put them on reservations so they could do the cheap labor. They still do that shit. That's why I said tomorrow I'm gonna get into them and how they became Native Americans. Because Native Americans and Aboriginal American Indians are not the same.
1970.
We're from the soil, and I'm tired. And the point of when they came over there, they didn't come over here with no fucking tools to build structures.
I think they had to poison us somehow. That start
I mean,
poisoning
it's
the people
crazy. There
to
were structures
suppress them.
already here. I mean, we seen irrigation proof in the damn
Fluoride,
water
comprehension.
after the flood. Irrigation. What we doing with pipes and irrigations and parts of buildings that were built here before they even came?
Thousands of underground cities have been discovered. All kinds of
Yes.
cities and railroads and
Still,
stuff. So I think they still run some of the railroads and stuff.
there is still stuff that
Yeah,
still
they
hasn't
drain
been
that water
discovered yet.
out, and
It's
yeah, that's
amazing.
probably where the underground world is because they drained out and worked
Mhm.
off of what was already down there. So let's not take away the skills that was here. You know,
And
none of
Sister
their
Becky,
asses came over
Advanced,
here.
too
None of
advanced.
them
eh,
came over here with twos. When you look at
Mhm.
the dictionary that Ad Power showed of what we built, everything we built, they just modernized it and upgraded it after we were overpowered and enslaved.
hey, hey, Sister
We
Becky,
had the blueprints when them bitches came here.
let
And
me
they
say this
changed
real
the
quick.
narrative of what it
You
was.
know, uh, we got to stop talking about that flood narrative because we cannot prove that America has ever been underwater. Not the whole 50 plus states. That's a
Oh no, it's just
biological.
certain. It's just
Yeah,
certain
hold
areas,
on,
big
Sister
dog.
Becky. That's a bibliological statement that they're trying to push. Is that flood thing? Like I said, if you can look at history, all the floods that they done basically they did it.
Yeah,
Right,
because they
That's
built
all I'm
all
saying.
those dams. They built like
right.
that's like 3,000 some dams all around the country that
I think
probably
it's closer to
flooded areas.
15,000, sister. You can look it up. Closer to
Um,
15,000
okay,
dams they
I ain't
built.
gonna argue with you because I ain't know what
No,
number. I
ma'am, I
just
ain't
know it
arguing.
was a lot.
I'm with you, sister. I agree. It's a lot of them. I'm not arguing with you. Much respect about mine.
Yeah, I know they built a lot of dams, and if you're building all these dams and you're redirecting water, it's gonna flood certain areas. So you are gonna have proof of flooding in certain areas, but it doesn't mean that there's some sky daddy that made it rain for 40 days and 40 nights.
And weather do actually evolve around though, So you see the weather evolve around, So what you might have in what kind of season you might have some years ago might evolve around, but the season will always be season. It's just evolving
Right,
around.
They
That's
right.
what.
making clouds. They
Yeah,
got
yeah.
cloud factories where they're making clouds.
Damn.
Hmm.
Yep, I heard that during
Weaponized weather.
to hide the sun. I heard that
Yes,
too.
sir.
The
Weaponized weather. Yes, sir.
Weaponized weather. Yeah. The heart.
she don't like when a real Yoruban get up here. I didn't say the African word was. I said a real Yoruba is up on the
Yoruba.
panel,
I think, man,
and
there's
he
satellites that's
even
gonna pick up
knows
this.
about our history. Just because me and Warwick are brown, don't mean we're from the same landmass.
That's correct. Yes,
Like
yes.
Warwick is from over in Yoruba. You said that's part of West Africa, right?
I mean, technically, British West Africa.
It's
Right,
gonna be.
Let's say British West Africa. Yeah,
right,
because that word itself is still foreign. Yeah, it's still foreign. British West Africa
right. And
Corporation.
you don't have that there's not a history of us being taken from there and brought here as slaves,
Oh
correct?
no, no, no,
I
no!
know
You
you're
see,
lying.
it's always trade.
Yep,
Trade always go around, and human trafficking never stops, and contract never stops, right? So there's some mysteries. Where indigenous people, we collaborate, we trade together, right? Yes, and everything's through water. You just mentioned water. You just mentioned the dam.
right,
Wherever there's water, there's always currency.
right,
Yeah, you follow the water trail. It's currency. No water, no
correct,
trade. No
correct,
transporting. No human trafficking.
right. It with the bullshit. So this is why this lawsuit is so important to me. Oh, I can't wait to get this lawsuit against these African American museums. I swear that is just my destiny this month. I swear.
That's gonna be huge.
Yes, huge, very huge, and it's my god freaking destiny because I'm sick of it. I'm okay. You want to talk about Black Europeans who are okay Africans? Fine, but just because we're all brown, don't put us there. And I have nothing against them at all. It's just that don't try to take me off my land because you came over here on the ship. You're the real one who came over here on the ship. I didn't. You came here and called yourself an American, and you're not an American. Worry about your own history. I'm tired of it. You got all these different foreigners from European countries coming over here to tell me about my life. And you're not going to poison my kid's head with it because we have to make sure we teach our children too. So we're going to teach our children to combat these teachers that teach them that. And then If they got a problem, you call mommy on the cell phone, because you're not going to put that poison in my kid's head. And these boulets from these different college professors and sororities and this
Yes, it's
bullshit. That's why I
being
never,
standardized,
yeah,
standardized.
that's why I never
They're teaching some
joined them.
standardized history.
That I got my master's, but I never became part of them because I don't want to be anything like them. Now they are who I call the real niggas.
That's what happened when you go. That's what happened when you go to different school of thoughts. They also commercialize school of thoughts.
And they have to do some sick stuff behind the scenes. It's really not healthy to have those type of groups in the colleges, because the kids go through so much. They got to go through initiations, and that stuff can be humiliating.
It is. I don't think it's fair for them to teach that bullshit. If you're gonna teach my history, you're gonna teach the truth about it, and that's a fact. But the way they're teaching this African shit, you're now making the little white kid feel bad, and that's wrong to do, because so what? He's a white kid, but he's still a baby,
and it starts
they shouldn't be
riots
fucked
in the
up with
middle
that
school.
in their head, because then they're gonna walk around, huh?
It starts riots in the middle schools when they start teaching that. The brown kids go around and they start fighting the white kids, and it causes a big
it's
scene.
not right.
Parents are pulling their kids out of the school and stuff. It's a lot that goes on.
It's terrible.
And who's ripping out the commercial part of it? Not accidental. Who's ripping out the commercial part of it? Even though it's emotional, but still someone's still ripping up the commercial out of it as well too.
People behind
right.
the scenes.
It's all both like economics.
Pulling strings.
Yeah.
The people behind the strings pull, people behind the scenes pulling the strings.
Right, like the band dies.
See, they're funded.
They place image of it, but the economic aspect of it, they don't really know the truth of it, but the economic of it.
They're given money and they're being funded to betray our community. That's what they're doing.
Shriners.
Period.
Shriners.
Facts. That's what it is.
They're getting paid.
Yep.
Yep. To be spies, to spy on the community and set them up. Whoever becomes that revolutionary whatever, they just be calling their white zaddy on the phone to set them up.
And part of the programming, they become the teachers, the people that become part of the programming for the next generation.
Teaching more lies to the next generation, so their families can be funded for the next generation, be funded to betray our their own people in their churches, and tell them more lies in churches and tell them pay their tithes, their free will offerings. They're already getting so much taken from the jobs already, and then you go there and get ripped off in the churches.
And as
can't
long
even
as they
take care of their own selves.
More expensive every year. Stuff gets more expensive. It makes you harder to survive, and they'll do anything for a little bit of money.
And price our people out of their homes. You see homelessness going on, living in their cars.
But you know what? Karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. So that's what I say. Them Negroes wearing them suits, all of them are gonna have their day. And I like to sit back and watch that day. I pray I live to see it. These motherfuckers are going to pay. Their time is coming. You can do evil but for so long.
Then people start putting two together, and then be like, wait a minute. And then they be trying to air them out. There's nothing they can do about it. Even the minister's gonna have to run out of that church. Like, which way is up?
I really hope
you see which way is up.
Start just randomly.
I think all people need to start chasing these ministers out the church. Like, which way is up?
I hope
they start chasing them.
Do. I really do. I do. I'm looking. I'm looking for that and to hear it on the news.
And he got ran. Yeah. And he got ran over. Yeah.
I'm offensive when you call me an African American or refer to me as one. That's grounds for war to me. And you know what? Eventually, Pookie and Ray Ray are going to feel that way too and start clocking their asses. And I wouldn't even give a fuck at this point because I'm tired of them. I'm tired. I really am. I'm tired.
Create resources and jobs.
So tired of them.
Create resources and jobs for people so they can redistribute their wealth within the community to create
these
more opportunities for them in stores.
Yeah,
because I can't wait to give these evictions to these foreigners so they can be replaced by our people
The
with the
sad thing
money.
about it is, sir, they're protected by the law. The law is protecting them.
But the
So we
law,
got to
Exactly.
the, lo-
also
United
change
Snakes
these
law.
laws.
but you know what? The law ain't gonna protect them, but for so long. After a while, that
United
law
Snakes
is
law.
not going to help their asses. And I live to watch it on the news, on somebody getting their ass checked at the door on the news behind our history. I'm tired of it. I'm
It,
sick of these boule niggas that make the news headings like that man we just saw on the video. I forget his name, and I'm sick of these boule
that
bitches.
Dyson mother.
I'm
Dyson
sick
guy.
of them. I'm tired of them. I can't. I'm tired of them.
You don't even want to look at it. Yeah, you're sick. Like, like they got a disease. It's called
Hey,
betrayitis.
hey, Sister Betsy, that's why I had to show you that video because it got me upset too. I'm
Well,
with you, sis.
not upset. It was funny, but it just shows the level of his education, and he's considered a public figure, a great few. But then when I look at him and when I hear him speak, what my thoughts about him and his education and how much he think he know, in my head, I'm saying this is a stupid coon motherfucker, Uncle Tom at its
Basically,
best. That's
scam.
what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at no educated nigga. I'm looking at a fucking fool. That's how I see all of them in the news media. Just like the black guy who had his genealogy done on the news channel. To me, he's an ass kipser, probably from the fucking island, just based on the tight ass pants he had on. Okay? The tight ass pants. For real. All of them is coon motherfuckers. Those are people that I don't even associate with. And they're not welcome in my surroundings. So no, I don't fuck with boule niggas and bitches. I don't. They get
Easter
on my last
stars.
fucking nerve. You go to college and learn all this skill, and you allowed it to trap your ass to the point where you can't think outside of theory. Theory. You're a
And I'm
fucking fool.
And I want to say this real quick because if you're not in no fraternity or whatever, you ain't gonna get those good jobs. And you got these stupid Alpha Phi, whatever they are,
I
firing
never joined no
firing
fraternity. I never
firing our
joined.
people for firing our people in these jobs and
Yeah,
doing all sorts of stuff. I can't
I'm
stand
not.
Easter stars and
I
them.
was
They're
not
like
a
my
pledge.
straight up enemies. They're like enemies for real, for real. Like, ugh.
I got my master's and got the fuck out. I didn't pledge shit. I didn't get on nobody's sorority or any of that shit in college. And I'm glad I didn't. I wouldn't have been comfortable anyway. Because I don't like the uptight skirt, boule life. I don't like that. It's not me. I'm not comfortable with it. I like to be myself. And I just, that, that community, I don't relate with. I don't.
Let's not even say I don't watch television. It's just they're just up there to just act a damn fool. They don't even know who they really are, but they don't care as long as they get the money. They do it just so they can get the bag. That's sad. And that money
Your
ain't even real.
doctorates, your sciences, motherfucker, you are learning from white scholars. And so now you think you're prestige and intelligent. You look like a brown ditwit motherfucker. You stupid in my world because if you are not educated enough to learn to do your own research outside of what the fuck they indoctrinated you with, then you're the sucker. You know what? In their Bible, it says the elect will be a food. You the most food elect I ever seen in my life because they don't do the research themselves. So if the white guy tells you in college you a nigga, you a nigga. And they believe that shit to the core of their being. So I don't fuck with them. I'm going to look and see who I am based on what my granny told me. All right, let me look back and just see if what she's saying is legit. And then you got a whole history of what happened to a people here. I'm like, well, damn. Well, damn. That's what happened to us. Why is it that, I mean, shit that professors and doctors don't even think, well, goddamn, we do got 9 fucking racial classifications. How the fuck we come from being aboriginals to the soil all the way to 1988, right? Now we fucking African Americans. Get the fuck out of here.
And a
That
rainbow.
don't make them think like, damn, they
I'm talking
change your
about that rainbow
identity.
now.
Why is something about
With
your
the LBGT
identity
crap.
such a
There's a
secret?
Jackson rainbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
because y'all all died. So when you forcefully assimilated into corporation, you had to be Negroes. You had to be colors. They don't think on that level. So fuck all them. And I
Yeah.
can't wait to shit backfire on them. I hate them all. I swear. This is why it's my
This
destiny to
war,
file this fucking lawsuit.
all
And if we
these
don't win,
foreigners,
I hope the
real
fucking
talk,
courthouse blows. I'm serious. I'm so sick of them. I am. I'm
these
sick of them.
foreigners that come over here get on my nerves. It's almost like these guys,
Yeah.
they're our enemies. And the fact that, every time you go to any neighborhood, you see a church, a bank, a hospital, you see their stores sucking the
Well, the
life out of our
problem is
communities.
we need to stop buying from them. Stop going to these restaurants that are ran by motherfuckers that ran out of here with the British like pussies.
Banks,
Stop
the churches,
going
the
to
banks,
their restaurants, buying their food. I don't go to no more restaurants. I cook now at
Yes,
home.
yes,
they
yes.
I
sell
That's
that
cook at
definitely.
home
poison.
because now them bitches they can't cook better than me as far as I'm concerned.
Nope, they never
Yeah,
could.
they're all the
If
ways
I'm
like
gonna
that.
eat,
Passive
if I'm gonna eat
resistance.
oxtails, I'm cooking that shit. Them motherfuckers can't cook better than me. If I'm gonna
Food
eat
is food
fried
is
chicken
culture.
wings, I'm cooking that shit because they can't cook it better than me. It's nasty. They don't clean it right. We need to stop buying from these nasty ass restaurants.
Protected by the United Snakes
Pizza
government.
don't taste the same no more. Like back in the 70s when I was little, pizza tastes real good. Pizza tastes nasty as fuck. I can't eat the food no more.
It's not real food, it's substance.
Food is culture. Food is culture. If I'm like coughing out like Africa, we always talk about food is culture,
Real culture.
and all this food you see around and had all this would have been molded by
Yeah.
Africa. They go back to the Greek Latin.
Yeah.
When you see all this shaped foods, we never give it deep thought. It's not because we already romanticize it, but technically it's a ritual food and it's actually shaped to their culture. Just like like Greeks, Latin, symbolic foods. The hot dogs. It gives you a different signal and picture connotation when you look at the food. You're not knowing
Right.
it, but you just romanticize because you have it. You're salivating for it. But if you look at the shape of the food, hot dog, for example, you slice it, it gives you, the intercourse. When you slice it, when you put
Oh,
the
yeah,
hot
yeah,
dog
yeah,
in
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
put
yeah.
the ketchup on it,
Yeah.
and you
Oh
put the
God.
semen on
Oh,
it.
oh my God, that sounds
You
so
know, you know I
gross.
had it before I can't. Yes.
Oh goodness, my goodness. No, so I don't know.
Yes, yes,
We'll just continue to keep educating our people. Keep
exactly. And
filing
That's the
that
best
fucking
thing
you
we
want
can
some
do.
lawsuit.
meatball, that's on poop there, and you want some
Yeah.
spaghetti, that's on worms, So
We'll give our fundraisers in our communities, and we'll have to do exactly what they do during campaign time. When it's time to go in our communities to do our fundraisers, we start knocking on our people's doors and telling them to stop buying from the restaurants in their areas.
That's right.
That's what we're
Buy
gonna
over
do.
here. Right?
This is what we need to start planning to do. Go in our communities and start telling them, yo, don't buy from this restaurant. Don't buy from that restaurant. No more. Stop our people from doing it and see how fucking long their business lasts in our communities. Because
That's
I'm
right.
not going to no more Jamaican restaurants. West End, I'm not. I'm
No
not
more
going.
foreigners. Yeah,
I
can't
cook
support them.
now.
yeah,
They don't do a fucking
food is
thing
not
for
innocent
me.
now. Food,
Put
food
a
is not
no
innocent.
support
Yeah.
foreigners campaign. No support foreigners campaign. Don't support them. They're taking, redistributing their
Yeah,
wealth
we
out of you.
stop supporting
Food is
them.
not food is not innocent. Grains is currency. The grain itself is currency. That's our ancestors traded. They traded in grains.
Yep.
And you see the Americas, all the pyramid, it's the stack up of grain. That's the purchasing power.
I don't know. But over here,
You got everything, all the resources here. That's what they come with.
okay, no, boy, you're not
And,
talking nicely. You got to talk nicely.
and
So
it's just we got to be very aware.
we just
Go ahead.
we just have to start. We need to start. If we really want to do something so easy as canvassing, knocking on doors in our community, We need to plan it because we have people in 50 states. We can, put out flyers and let our people know. And, we email, we make copies of them, go to Staples and pass them out in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Stop buying from these restaurants.
and
Stop
I think,
supporting them so that they
and
could
I
be
think,
forced
right. Yep.
closed.
And I think when you put a flyer, it's something like you could put all the businesses, are the businesses on the back where to go to. There you go. There's a place to go to and support these places. You need to put the money
Right.
in our hands, exchange our money. That'd be the best idea.
Yeah,
And
because
you
when our
write a
people,
list of all
yeah,
businesses that we will support them. And even if you got to put it on a cell phone and say, just go to these places to do it for 30 days and do
yep,
not, or just don't support them because they're
right.
not doing
Don't buy
this.
shit from them.
Don't buy nothing from these stores. He's gonna just go, just shut them down for a district, everything. It's gonna grow from there on. People will see the
Facts.
results. People will start having on everything. They can do jobs online. People will just start supporting. My sister, my older sister, she opened up a salon or like a hair weave place in the mall, and she did that thing a month ago. And I'm very proud of her because she's trying. You see these Chinese people are doing it, and I'm glad that my older sister's doing it. She's Aboriginal. She understands the Aboriginal stuff, but she still goes to church, but she does understand it. And I'm just proud of her. And it just made me happy because to see that she's putting that business out. And I feel like more women should call her so she can help them. She said how teach them how to set things up because that's all it's going to do is make it bigger, so that more people can start going to these stores to get our stores to go get their hair out of our stores and not the Chinese stores and take it out of their hands. And I think that's an important thing. Try to network against each other. We don't compete against one another. Try to network for each other and build from there. You know,
Right, that's a fact. That gave me a
I'm
great idea. Not only am I going to make a flyer, I'm going to upload the flyer on our website so that it's easy and accessible for people to download, print it, and they could go to like a Staples and make it, a thing by helping, make 10 copies. And if you get it to 10 people in our community, you're doing good. Do it, like once a week. Make 10 copies, pass it out in our community. And at least on the flyer, it explain why we're doing what we're doing. And we could stop supporting these businesses in our community and see how long they asses last in our community. We
I
got to
say,
get them out.
and
They're only
also
there because we keep buying from them.
mhm. And also, we got Facebook and all that. I feel like all people with businesses should link up with one another so they can all just tell each other to support their businesses and so they can start bringing it
Facts.
out and start supporting. Because look, I don't know how many people who are in the hair care products. I don't know how many people in restaurant business. I don't know anyone. And it's like, but the number one thing I
Oh
always
God, they're
argue,
all on YouTube. You got to, I
yeah,
mean, they're on YouTube and they're in Facebook.
yeah,
But passing out this flyer
yeah,
and when it explains why we're, going on this thing to not buy from these foreign restaurants or any
yeah,
restaurants that
hmm
are not people of this
healthy.
landmass, the main landmass.
They're not healthy. The
Don't buy
food's
from their
bad.
restaurants.
Yeah,
Yep.
we need to sue the FTCC for
Don't
allowing
buy
these
from them.
poisons. They keep
Boycott
allowing
their
poisons to
asses.
come in. Oh yeah, we got to do it. We got a lot of work to do
A real
because they're going
boycott.
to
A
continue to keep
boycott.
going because
Right.
it is a secret war, like the Marvel thing,
Yeah.
secret war going on, and they're trying to take us out by police enforcement or food or schools and mines. It seems like it's all bodied in one monster that needs to be
Yeah.
took down. They done
Yep.
organized this stuff. They took them hundreds of years to implement the perfection, but it's gonna all come tumbling down. It's all
We
falling.
just
They
gotta
know it's done.
I think because all of us in the YouTube communities are in the 50 states, we can start instituting boycotts. Like,
All 50
all right, who
states, all the
what
seats.
store are we gonna boycott now? Let's not buy no fucking fried chicken from the Asian
Get
restaurants.
these
We
foreigners,
start
yep.
boycotting
7-Elevens,
in the 50 states. 7-Eleven, let's just start
Arabs,
boycotting
Arab
their asses.
stores, Hindu
Yep.
stores, all of them.
Yep. Don't
Let's
go to
get
their
them out
gas
of here.
stations. Go somewhere else. Yeah. That's how we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to stop investing
We're
in
gonna
them.
have we got a no support foreigner campaign along with Rico Dukes for 2024.
I don't know how that's all gonna go well, but I'm voting for Trump. Sorry, I'm voting for Trump. But
What if
anyway,
he's the vice president?
huh?
I'm not voting. I'm not voting.
I
Vote
know
me
that's right,
wish.
Billy. Uh, but anyway, you guys, I've been on here for 2.5 hours. I want to get off tomorrow. I'll be back with part 3, and I'm gonna get into the Plains Indians and Mexico Indians. I'm gonna get in that tomorrow. But
I
I'm
vote.
out of here today. Hey, tomorrow, don't buy no food from nobody.
Nope.
Do it for starting Sunday for a whole week. Don't buy shit from no restaurants
I'm
in your
going to
hood.
Della. I'm going to Della. Whatever. I guess it's soul food place, but it's long. It's far from where I'm at, but I'll go there and support them. Uh, Della Sobs. It's a soul food restaurant. I'm gonna try to go to them. It's in Virginia. And you know what's weird about Virginia? They got a sign that says Indian Run. It goes down the hill and stuff like that. So I'm gonna support a lot of my so-called black businesses and see who's around. But the one thing that I really stress out on our people
Where's your
is
store, Free Papa?
so huh?
I know it's asking Free Papa where his store at, so I can make sure people don't buy from it.
Yeah, and it's like, please, like, people need to, like, tell me where these your places are, because there's no network out here. I don't know anything. I wish you guys create an app of jobs, so that app of businesses that you have, you create something where arrow you put your businesses in, so whenever we go to another city, we can find it on here, because these apps are so important. I think you need to put your businesses on these apps so you can network them on there, so we can find them, so wherever city we go to, whatever we go to, we can go just there and just go there. Okay, here's where we go. Okay, this place, because when I go to any city, I can't find anything. You got to go on Google and find stuff, and you can't find it. It's all saying, but that'd be a good idea too.
You
Goes
should
on the app.
that app. It's your idea. It's been sent to you. If you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. There's
That's right.
app, not that hard to make an app. You should look it up and see what you can do. I would definitely download it.
Yeah, I definitely will try to.
I'm so proud of y'all, and I love all of y'all. I know Sister Beth.
I love you too, and I'm
Love
about
you
to
Much
get
too.
off
love,
here.
much love
I'm
back.
about to get off here.
Devon,
Philly, you about to
much love to everybody in the chat. Grand
I'll
about
go
to
Rising.
go
for Philly
live,
dog
right,
to make some
Philly?
Philly dog sandwiches.
No, ma'am, I'm
Ah,
falling back.
yeah, me
I'm falling
too.
back.
I'm about to get off of here.
Yeah,
I've been on
you
here
hear
two
me,
and a
big
half
dog Philly?
All
hours.
right, thank
Yeah,
you.
much.
I
What you
said
say, brother?
Thank you.
I'll vote for you to make some Philly dogs. If you make
Now,
Philly dogs, I'll buy from you. Okay, just
now,
somebody make something so I can buy from you. I don't know anybody out
hey,
here.
brother,
Somebody.
what I'm known for, I'm gonna let you know what I'm known for. I'm known for the smoothies.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
he's a
what I'm
vegan.
mm,
He
known
don't
for.
eat. He don't
Healthy
eat meat. He
smoothie.
don't eat food. He eats
Yeah, I don't
smoothies.
eat food, brother. I smoothie and the juicer. I'm a juicer.
oh, that's good,
But
man.
much
Yeah,
love and
make sure, make
respect
sure,
to
make
everybody,
sure you get all
man.
the
Much
fiber as well
love.
too. Though, don't just juice it out. Get all the fiber to
I
get
know
inside
you
as well too.
powders, juices, cleansers, stuff like that, and try to stay away from. And then look at all the toothpaste and stuff that's bad for you, throw them away, and try to really be healthy all the way. This is a process.
Yeah, get the
Yes,
floor.
sir. That's what I push.
No
Yeah,
floor.
make sure they have some seed as well too. Seed in. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's all right, y'all.
Respect.
We about to get
Yeah.
on up out of here, y'all.
I
All
just
right,
Thank you,
Sister
rather
Betty.
be
Betty.
Take care.
alone in
Thank
my
you.
All
zone
right.
writing
Love you,
poems.
Sister
When
Betty.
I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours. Thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realized they all some fucking cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers. And we want it now, never later. No more favors done with all these traitors who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow. So I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road. And I'd rather stay at home, and life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy. You do this for my old lady, yeah.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
See, ain't shit changed, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no ceilings. Pour me up a cup or two so it could stop the bleeding. Roll me up a split or two, and now I'm hella weeded. Cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that nigga undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that drama, my